Hello and welcome to Culture Shock, the pop culture podcast brought to you by four aging millennials and our outdated opinions. I'm your host, Corey, and with me today is...
It's me, Doug.
Here we go. And I'm Mike.
To quote Mario and somewhat Adrian, let's a fucking go.
Ba-da-ba-da-ba-da.
I'd be more impressed if you did the underwater.
Which one?
I'm trying to think.
Bum,
The one I'm
bum,
thinking of
bum,
is,
ba-da-dum, bum. No, that's air.
I was
That's
thinking
1-4.
of.
Na 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 na.
See, nobody ever does that one.
That's because it sucks. I'm kidding.
Yeah, no.
It's just not nearly as good as the rest.
It's everybody hates the water level, so you don't remember the song because you're just trying to get through it.
The underground one is my favorite.
The underground one is Mario, but very grungy, so
It's
everybody
very well
likes
done.
it.
It's very well done, Doug.
I disagree. That was a fucking mess.
It was supposed to kind of be.
It was like somebody's first attempt at beatboxing, Mario.
Your first attempt at beatboxing.
And again, Mike, you nailed me. Good job. So I think it was pretty obvious from our opening. Anybody listening to us, any of our listeners at this point know who the hell Mario is, and they knew all three of those lines. We're going to talk about Mario today. And
But if you don't know, I could tell. No, wait.
And just like all of the big Mario moments, Luigi misses them, and so is Adrian. Adrian is not with us today. My other half of my Mario Brothers is also not here, and I think it's because he hates Nintendo. He missed our Zelda episode. Now he's missing Mario. I'm pretty sure he just hates Nintendo.
I think he hates this podcast.
We say
And
he's
us.
missing. We say he's missing, but really, we just wanted to keep his awful opinions off this episode. So,
See, that's the problem. Is I think this is one of the episodes he would have agreed with most of us, and that's
oh no,
why he doesn't give a shit that he's gone. So Adrian likes to argue. Adrian likes to hate things, and he likes Mario a lot. So this would have been a hard one for him to hate anything. I mean, there's a lot to hate in the Mario world. There's been quite a few really bad games over the years, but most of those have been like for handheld systems and some of the newer Mario Party things. So for the most part, Mario's been pretty solid over the years since 1983, I think, is when he came onto the scene in the actual Mario Brothers game, like the shitty one where you're in that one level knocking enemies around. What was it called? Was it just called Mario Brothers? Because I know the first one was called Super Mario Brothers, the one we're all familiar with.
It was, that mini game in Super Mario Brothers 3?
Yeah.
Is that where you get to fight each other and shit?
Yeah, that's what the original, that's what the first actual Mario game was. That was before they were the Super Mario Brothers.
Oh,
that was when he was just a character from Donkey Kong named Jumper the Carpenter.
Yeah. We're not going to go that far back because, I played the Mario Brothers thing back in the day for the Nintendo, but I don't remember liking it. I never even really went into that level in Super Mario 3. Maybe once in a while just to fuck around.
The funny part was you could activate it when it wasn't your turn, and the winner, whoever won, it was their turn. So I would steal turns from my friends and my sister.
Wow,
as they'd pass over, I'd hit the button and then beat them, and then it's my turn now. Again.
That's a very brother move to do. I used to make my brother be Luigi. That every time.
Oh, absolutely.
He was not allowed to be Mario.
I've never picked Luigi by choice.
Oh, I have.
You're the little brother, though, Mike.
That's true. But Luigi in Super Mario Brothers 2 is awesome.
Yeah, over the years, Luigi actually became quite a cool character, but at first he was just kind of the bumbling brother who followed Mario around everywhere. Now he does his own thing, but they finally give him his own game, and it's fucking Luigi's Mansion. Like, hey, we're gonna give you your own game now. Let's stick you in this mansion with a bunch of ghosts and fuck you, basically.
That game's actually great.
No, it's a great game, but he got screwed over
Mario.
as a person. If he were a person in real life, and the first thing they give him is a haunted house. Like he kind of got screwed over.
That his brother's trapped in.
I don't remember. I don't remember them even making a second one, but the third one's pretty good for the Switch.
Well, the second one was on the Nintendo 3DS. That's why you, or was it either that or the regular DS? I can't. It would have been the 3DS. Yeah.
Yeah, it was one of the ones with the extra touchpad at the bottom. I know that. So it had to have been 2 or 3, at least.
Yeah, I think it was the 3DS because I almost bought it, if I remember.
It's for the 3DS.
Yeah.
It was called, well, yeah.
Dark something curse. Or
Dark
something.
Moon or something
Dark
stupid.
Moon.
Yeah.
Curse of the Moon. Wow, way to get so negative about a game you've never played, Mike. I guess you're here in spirit for Adrian.
Yeah. Guys, what you don't actually know is I'm not a real person. I'm just a program, and Adrian programming today.
Don't pretend like Adrian could do that.
Well, last time we said I was just a soundboard, so.
I mean, sort of.
Here's a little bit of trivia I'm going to throw out there. Maybe you didn't know this, but obviously the first Super Mario Brothers game came out in 1985. That's the one that we're all familiar with being the first one ever. A lot of people think that Super Mario Brothers 2 came out, then the Lost Levels came out, but actually the Lost Levels came out 2 years before Mario Brothers 2. There's a lot of, I don't know why that's such a thing, but a lot of people think.
This is why it's a thing, because we never got Super Mario Brothers 2. We got a reskin copy of a game called Doki Doki Panic, where they just put Mario characters in it because they thought the real Mario 2 was too hard for American gamers, and they only released it in Japan.
So they called the second one Lost Levels?
No. They called it Lost Levels when they gave it to us finally on the Super Nintendo. Because we already had what we thought was Super Mario Brothers 2, but that was a different game that they made, but they changed the character. You can actually look this up. It's called Doki Doki Panic. It's what you think is Mario 2, but with totally different characters, because they just changed them in for Mario characters and gave it to us because they didn't think we were good enough for Mario 2.
I mean, we probably weren't.
Lies.
You guys are both forgetting, though, that Mario wasn't even in, like, the first appearance of Mario wasn't even in a Mario game.
No, we're not forgetting that. I just don't. It was in Donkey Kong. I mean,
yeah,
he's Jump. Did you not?
Jumper the Carpenter?
Yeah. He said already that he was Jumper the Carpenter. He was actually even in a TV commercial for Donkey Kong, the first live action Mario ever was in a TV commercial for Donkey Kong. He just didn't sound like Mario, obviously. I don't even know if he had a line, but the cops were like looking up at a building and a giant monkey on it, and they sent him in or something like that.
It's funny that you just said he was literally the very first version of Mario ever in live action, but said he didn't sound like Mario. He was the first.
Well, no, it's like when they recast a character after the first season, that they go on to be the character they are. You don't think of them as that first season anymore. Like a lot of characters in Futurama sounded way different in the first season, but I don't think of their voices as that first season. I think of them every season after. Same thing with Mario.
They didn't change anyone except Santa.
No, I'm not saying they changed actors. They changed their voices.
I guess,
if you watch any interview with John DiMaggio, he says that first season he did not have Bender down yet.
Oh yeah,
he changed him a lot over the years, and he's way more Bender in the second season. I was just trying
to talk shit on Charles, whatever his name is, because everybody is up in a tizzy that Chris Pratt's replacing him for a movie.
No, that I fucking hate that people are being so horrible about that.
It makes sense that you can't have that guy. No, what I'm saying is it makes sense that they cast an actual actor.
Yeah, right.
To voice Mario.
It'd be something stupid like casting a TV actor like Grant Gustin in a movie role like The Flash. Like, why would anyone ever want that?
That's a different conversation that Mike wants to have right now.
Anyway, moving back to Mario.
That would be like doing a live action Zelda or an animated Zelda and getting mad that the person who voiced all the grunts and the rolls and the hi-yahs isn't voicing Zelda. Or see what I did there?
Good try. You just played yourself.
I mean, there's a lot of grunts and stuff from Zelda in certain videos I've seen, but they're on the dark web.
I meant Link. My apologies.
So I'm guessing, and I don't think this is much of a stretch, but I'm guessing that all of us played Mario basically from the beginning of our video game careers. Yes.
My mom got a Nintendo the Christmas before I was born as a gift, so it was there waiting for me.
One of the very first games I ever played was Super Mario World for the Super Nintendo.
Wow, that's super. I guess you weren't born until 90. I'm old. Sorry,
I wasn't born until 90.
I never. I didn't.
I know.
I played a Super Nintendo and an Atari before I ever played the regular Nintendo.
Oh, I could beat Mario 2 before I learned how to tie my shoes. Mario 1 before I learned how to tie my shoes.
That's Doug pretending like he knows how to tie his shoes now. He doesn't.
It's true.
But
at least I don't wear Crocs though.
Oh, I'll be there eventually. I'm turning into a dorky dad. I already have a pair of Hey Dudes and they're comfortable as shit.
I don't even know what that is.
See, you don't want to know. They're ugly.
They're not. They're comfortable as fuck, and I don't care if they're ugly.
I mean, Crocs are ugly too, but I do have a pair.
I'm too single and childless for this.
They're pretty comfortable actually.
I've heard good things, and I'll probably eventually get there. Yeah, but when I was a kid, like I remember, I think I spent most of my time with the first and the third Mario Brothers games, because I had those two.
Hell yeah! And
I actually didn't even own Super Mario World probably 2 years into it being out, because back then, I don't know if people know this, but back then these games were pretty fucking expensive.
They were between $50 and $60.
So it took me a while to play these games, but so I somehow acquired as a very young child the first Super Mario Brothers and the third Super Mario Brothers, and I played them so fucking much that I think I destroyed my Nintendo. And it wasn't until like 3 or 4 years later that I even had Super Mario World, which is probably my favorite Mario game overall. But I remember having very fond memories of 1 and 3 and being able to just destroy those games in one sitting, maybe an hour or two, back when I was a kid.
Dude, I remember just sitting on the floor in front of those old sitting on the ground TVs. It was like a 27-inch one that I thought was massive as a kid. Now I have 2 of those as monitors. Fucking ridiculous when I stop and think about it. And that fucking, those TVs that when they stop working, you put a blanket over it. Now it's a table because it's so sturdy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Or it's where you put the next TV.
Exactly. I was about to say that's when we stack the second one on top of it.
Well, I mean, what else can you do with it? Like,
it was too heavy to get to the curb.
They're so hard to throw away.
Why would you? It's clearly a table.
Yeah,
There's a blanket over it, Mike. You tell me that's not a table.
How I Met Your Mother made excellent use out of them when when Barney kept smashing them.
Well, he wasn't smashing the ones we're talking about. You're talking about just the black tube TVs. We're talking about the old wooden.
It's like literally a box that sits on the floor.
Yeah.
I
the
literally
3,000-pound cabinets that had a screen in the middle.
27-inch, and they look all fancy, but they're dirt cheap.
And
when they break, you're from a poor white trash family. So what you do is you put a blanket over it and then stack a new one on top of it.
Yeah,
or the used one you got from the guy down the street. That's the same TV.
I helped a friend move like 6 years ago, and their grandfather, because they didn't have like any furniture whatsoever, really. Their grandfather, who lived like right next door, said, "You guys can have this TV," and it was one of those TVs, and I had to move it by myself.
I would have just said no.
I should have said no.
It's
fucking damn near impossible.
It's too bad Adrian's not here to corroborate this story, but when we were kids, my parents had a big-ass one sitting up on like a couple TV stands, like what we used to eat TV dinners off of.
Okay.
And Adrian, they were playing cards on the ground, and Adrian stood up to grab something off the top of it, and it started going like towards him and Eric. And they were maybe 3 or 4. Eric is my cousin, sorry. But they were like maybe 3 or 4. And this TV was going, and I ran up and saved him like by pushing it back on against the wall. Like that TV was so heavy it would have killed one or maybe both of them.
Oh, you do care.
No, I just didn't want it. I just didn't want the first death I ever saw to be like my brother, because then my mom would have got sad and I would have been in foster care.
Now, come on. If you would have let him die, this podcast probably would have never happened.
Yeah. He asked me to join it.
Yeah, see, he was the one that asked all of us to do this.
You guys had no worse technical skills than I believe you could at the beginning. Mike, hey, you've come a long way, though. I'm proud of you.
Yeah, you don't have dial-up anymore.
Or AOL.
Oh God,
It's pretty spiffy.
I do
Mike's
understand.
got what they call Wi-Fi internet now.
It's up in the cloud. I don't really know what that means, but that's where
It's
at.
there.
It's
But,
there somewhere.
I remember most of my fun growing up, even though I love all these Mario games to death. I remember most of my fun growing up being in the Mario Party games, specifically the first 5 that were for 64/GameCube era.
1, 2, 3 for 64, 3 through 8 on GameCube, I believe. Yeah, Mario Party was a good time. I loved Mario Kart. I actually had Mario Karts.
Mario Kart also, yeah.
So I had okay, I guess you told your story. So I had a Nintendo. It was there right when I was born, so I was learning to play it way too young, frankly, which is why I could play Mario before I could read.
Yeah, I think me too, honestly.
Yeah, exactly. Like I was like, wait, you can't beat Mario? I'm 4 and I can beat Mario.
Yeah.
You suck. Maybe that's why I'm like this.
Why are you the way that you are?
I was good at video games. Anyway.
Oh, okay.
So I didn't ever get a Super Nintendo. We got a Sega when that came along. But I had Mario 1, 2, and 3 for the Nintendo. I played them all, beat them all as a kid. Then we got a Sega. Because my dad took me to the store. He's like, we can get one of these things when it was like new. And it was like Christmas or something. He's like, which one? And I picked the Sega for some reason and got Sonic 2 and didn't have a Nintendo again until the 64.
See, when Segas came out, they advertised themselves as being like, if you're the cool older kid, you want a Sega. So anybody who wanted to be like the older kid, like I'm cool, I'll get a Sega. It was kind of more. I never really had the chance to switch to Sega, or I might have tried it. I didn't play Sega for years, but
if I could go back in time, I would have picked the Super Nintendo. But holy
I'm happy with
I
my choice.
love that Sega.
My cousin,
yeah,
same cousin who almost died from the TV, Eric, he had a Sega. So whenever we went to his house, we got plenty of Sega playing in. Like he had Road Rash and all the Sonic
cousins
games.
had everything. Like they were spoiled. They had everything, right? Like literally every console. That's where I played most of my games for like a good first half of my life.
I have only ever played a Sega once in my life.
What?
Still to this day?
Still to this day.
Jeez.
I still have mine. I have 2 of them actually now.
My brother and I, we used to get babysat by a coworker of my dad's occasionally, and she had a Sega, and that's where. So maybe twice. I only remember once, but I mean, I was pretty young. I think I was like 4 or 5.
Man, that's insane.
So you've never played like, you know what? We'll have this episode another time because I'm about to go off on a whole thing. But anyway, my point of that was like, even though I didn't play it right away, Super Mario World, like I played it 1,000 times since then, and it is probably also my favorite Mario of all time. But when we got to the next era, like you brought up Mario Party, and it's funny that it's funny.
I love Mario Party.
When I think we got our 64, it came with Mario Kart 64. I never even owned Super Mario 64 to this day.
I remember you saying that in our 64 episode.
But I played Mario Kart. I played Mario Tennis. I played Mario Golf. I played Mario Party.
All great games.
I played Mario 64 a bunch, but I've never owned it, which is wild. I know.
That shocks me because it's still up there as one of my favorites.
I mean, it was revolutionary for its time, but it's been surpassed a couple times in my opinion.
Yeah.
I disagree, Mario. But that
Mario Odyssey is the ultimate.
Listen, I see what everybody's talking about with Odyssey, but I just don't agree. There's too much extra to it. They went too hard.
Really?
I love Odyssey.
It's such a fun, clean experience.
I love Odyssey. It's a great fucking game, but they just, I don't know. I think you don't
have to do all the extra stuff.
I think the addition of Cappy doesn't matter to me. I don't care about that.
Oh, dude.
What?
Did you get to the end?
Cappy.
Don't care.
Did you get to the end?
No.
Oh my god! So you don't even know what happened.
The ending's not going to change my mind.
No, it's not the story. It's the last mission. You have no idea.
It's not going to change my mind.
Cappy's so awesome.
Really
I love
bad.
Odyssey, but
without Cappy, the one.
Well, yeah, you got to use him. He's part of
that one world where that fucking bird steals your hat.
You have to just chase him down
for like ever. I couldn't figure out how to get the hat back.
And can you leave that world when he has the hat, or will you not have it on the other worlds either?
I don't remember having this problem, so I don't know.
I mean,
No,
I've
I don't.
I'm not
figured it
bit, and
out,
like
so.
I don't even remember that happening. Like I know that happened.
I
But
don't
don't
either,
even
so I don't
remember
know
it
if
being a
I
thing.
just didn't get there or if I got it back quick, or I don't know. I don't remember that.
I didn't do
It's-
everything, but I did get to the dark side of the moon. I just didn't get to the darker side of the moon secret levels.
Pink Floyd.
No. It's like that's actually what it's called. There you have to collect like how many moons were there? Like 900.
So fucking
There's a
many.
lot.
I think you had to collect 600 to unlock what I had unlocked, but then you had to have like all of them, like almost all of them that unlock the other part, and it just wasn't happening.
I kind of liked with Odyssey that they had there's like portions of the levels where you kind of got sucked into the wall where it went back into like 2D.
Yeah, see,
There was so
that
much
was
they
cool.
did right with that game. It was just fun, like legitimately just a fun game.
It was really fun.
And
Yeah,
paid
it is a
homage
very
to
fun game.
Where it came from, it had a bunch of old and new mixed together. It was just the music was the best it ever had been in the series.
And I agree with everything you're saying. I just don't enjoy it more than 64.
It's just,
Now, is this because of nostalgia?
I was gonna say I can understand enjoying 64 more, but to claim that
I didn't say it was a better
you're right,
game.
you're right. You know what? You're right. What do you think? Which one is technically the better game?
Odyssey Day and Night is obviously a better game.
Okay, thank you.
It has
All right,
better
all right.
mechanics. It has better things, better music, better
features.
sound, better features. But when I put Odyssey in and play it for a couple hours, I'll shut it off. But if I put 64 in, I'm playing all night.
See, it's the other way around for me.
See, and nostalgia probably plays a big part of that. But that's the problem is I let nostalgia make me enjoy things more. So, like, I don't fight that nostalgia.
Well, there's
I don't
nothing
have
wrong
that
with
nostalgia.
that.
See, I don't
No, I
have
know.
that nostalgia for that game.
Some
That's the
people,
issue.
well, that's the problem is,
Yeah.
you didn't have it till you were much older. So it's the same with like you guys in. Now this is gonna piss
fucking
you.
Ocarina of Time and Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, like you guys.
Well,
Yeah, well, I mean-
because
It's
I've
exactly
never
the same
claimed-
thing, actually.
because
Same
I've
consoles
never
Yeah.
claimed that Breath of the Wild wasn't better. I just enjoy Ocarina of Time more.
Yeah, see, it's exactly the same thing. I can 100% admit that Odyssey is obviously it. I mean, even Galaxy learned from from Mario 64 and improved things. Like there
Yeah.
are just. I'm not saying that 64 is where Mario stopped improving. I get that there's leaps and bounds ahead of that. If you put Mario 64 in or any of the old ones for Super Nintendo or Nintendo, I'm gonna play them longer
See,
than Odyssey.
I look at the 2D ones and the 3D ones as totally different. Like
See,
they're-
he does the same thing with
No.
the Zelda stuff too.
you have to. They're different games. Like it's a different formula. It's a different experience. Like I can't even compare Super Mario 64 and Mario World. They're not comparable. They're totally different.
That I would
Why
agree with. Yes.
It'd be like comparing like fucking Sonic Adventure 2 to like Sonic 2. Of course Sonic 2 was a good game and Sonic Adventure 2 was what it is. And I know it's beloved, but it's still like every 3D Sonic is shit, and I've owned most of them. So
Except
I can
this
say
new
that.
Frontier, I've heard really good things about it.
Okay, I heard it's a beautiful train wreck.
Yeah, I've never
Yeah.
played it, but I've heard that it's probably the first 3D Sonic that's holds on its own,
Yeah.
which is exciting because Sonic
Yeah.
was a beloved character, and now he's
absolutely.
kind of a side character now, honestly, in Mario's world even sometimes. So it's kind of nice that Sonic's getting his own footing again.
It's because Nintendo bought Sega.
What?
They didn't buy Sega.
Well, they bought the rights to all the Sega games or properties, right?
When?
That's why they're able to have Sega games
Well,
on
that was a
Nintendo.
deal they made.
Yeah, I don't think they bought the company. I think they just made a deal with them because Sega still makes their own games and stuff. So
That's
I don't
all
think,
they do.
Yeah, so I don't.
I mean, maybe they might have. I just don't remember hearing about it.
I didn't hear that. Yeah,
I feel like I would have heard about it, but pretty sure it was just a business deal.
Yeah, you're right.
A licensing thing.
Sega is still its own company.
Yeah, I thought so. Okay. I was like, what?
It says
Trust
Sega's
me,
association with Nintendo goes back to 1976
Yeah.
when Sega introduced Wild Gunman and Shooting Trainer to North American players. I guess they've just had a working relationship.
Yeah, absolutely.
Since then, that's all.
They've just
This is what I was saying. Although Sega is not owned by Nintendo, they do have the rights to many of Sega's standard games. This is why there are some Sega games on Nintendo Switch. There.
yeah, and they need to get more
Yeah, that answers
because
that.
there's quite a few on there and it's fun, but they definitely need more. Doug can for sure answer this. Is Sonic a character in Smash Brothers?
In Ultimate, he's been in since Brawl. He was added in Brawl for the Wii, and he's been in.
I couldn't remember because I haven't played a Smash game in probably 10 years.
Out of like all the different franchises have like multiple characters. He's one of the few that only have. He's the only one, and then also like Solid Snake from Metal Gear.
I knew. Yeah, I remember. I knew he was in it.
There's like 80 characters in Ultimate though, or something.
Are you
crazy
are you saying that you haven't played the new Smash Brothers for Switch?
No, I haven't.
Still, after we even talked about it and said it's like easily the best one.
Well, Melee, but
it's the most vast selection of characters. But
it's definitely okay. Maybe not better than
Melee was the most hardcore version of Smash Brothers.
Maybe not better than Melee, but I think
like I can understand not thinking that because like Melee's only better if you're like someone who cares about like high level top play. That's where the game gets insane.
But as far as like, I mean, it's better than most of the.
It's the second best Smash Brothers ever, hands down.
It's so good.
Like, I've played them all. I've played them all up to this Ultimate, right, is what it's called.
Ultimate really went way crazy, and it's awesome.
Trust me, I want to play it, but as we discussed in our 64 episode, Nintendo never puts anything on sale, and I'm not paying $60 for that game. It's just it's not worth it to me.
Still $60.
They always are.
Everything is $60 on Switch.
Where else are you gonna buy it? Oh wait, you're not.
Unless you want to go to GameStop and buy it pre-owned for $55.
Why would just pay the $5?
Yeah.
I wouldn't. Don't buy used Switch games because if your console's caught like cheating or anything, they ban the cartridge from working ever again.
Oh,
yeah.
Wow,
so
didn't know that.
Oh yeah, they learned.
I think most GameStops check those before they sell them, but there are lazy ass employees out there, so don't trust all of them.
It's GameStop. Don't trust them that much.
They don't give a shit anymore.
They never did.
No, but
you're thinking of Electronics Boutique.
Oh, EB.
EB. I miss EB.
They still exist in Canada.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
I was actually just the other day watching an episode of Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and while they were in the car, they passed an Electronics Boutique, and I got sad. I was like, "Oh man, I miss that place."
But yeah, what was the point I was getting to? Oh yeah, Melee and stuff. Yeah, so I guess that's a good one. You say Mario Party, I said Mario Kart. Mike, what's your favorite Mario title? Like the side games. You got every sport.
Yeah, every sport, literally
sport. Olympic Games.
Yeah. Down to fucking shot put. What do you like?
It has to be Mario Kart for me.
Which Mario Kart? Now that's the important question. And obviously Mario Kart 8's the best Mario Kart ever, but what's your favorite Mario Kart?
Nostalgia-wise, I do love 64 because I love the levels in 64 more.
It's my personal favorite.
But 8 is the best one.
Okay, so there's an interesting comparison I just made in my head there, Doug.
Yeah.
64 is still your favorite Mario Kart, even though 8 is better. That's the same with me and Odyssey and Mario 64. But it was actually just announced, and by the time this episode comes out, it will already be released. The Switch Online Plus expansion is adding GoldenEye online multiplayer to their game lineup, and I'm actually very excited about it.
Did you watch the trailer for it?
I did, and even though that they cleaned it up enough,
they cleaned it up enough that I think
they cleaned it up enough that it helped, but they didn't change too much that it'll be annoying,
right?
Like it's a remaster. They just cleaned up the hard edges, and I'm excited for the online multiplayer of it. And I mean, I don't know how many of you have the expansion plus thing.
I do,
but it's only $50 for the whole year. So
I mean, I can probably pick it back up.
Yeah. So because I would love to get together with you guys and play some GoldenEye. I haven't played with Mike or Adrian since we were kids. So
I haven't played that in so long. I know we're all going to be really bad at it too.
Oh yeah, hell yeah!
Because you don't aim, you like
nope.
You force the camera up, and then
I honestly don't even know how they're going to do that either. Because on the 64, you could aim with the yellow buttons, but nobody ever used those fucking yellow buttons.
You could, but you
could aim.
You couldn't aim. You could strafe your camera up and let it fall back to the middle.
Well, and then if you used a sniper rifle, you were able to aim.
Well, yeah, obviously you could move that around, but it wasn't very.
I'm gonna
accurate.
pick odd job. I'm gonna crouch and I'm
no
gonna slap
odd
you to
job.
death.
I call it no odd job
I'm
right
doing
now.
it. And I'm gonna crouch, and I'm gonna crouch too.
Well, then it's gonna
I would
be
prefer.
It's gonna be all odd jobs running around slapping each other.
not running, crouch sliding.
Can
because
none of us do? I don't want that. That sounds sexual.
no,
Then I want it.
It is. They barehand slap each other like crazy too, while they're all crouched down on the ground together.
The entire time, I'm gonna walk around and be like, slap your pee-pee.
Even the name odd job sounds oddly sexual. So
you're about to get an odd job, Mike.
You're about to get an odd job. I'm gonna slap you with my odd job. But what I was getting at there with the online stuff, I really like that Mario Kart, the newer one, 8, you can actually like go online and have like championships against people, and I really enjoy it. There's so many fucking vehicles to download, so many characters, and the customization of your wheels and shit actually matters. Like,
yes,
it's like to an extreme, it matters.
Yeah, it's really fucking cool how, like, for a long time I was using this motorcycle with these rubber ass tires, and I couldn't figure out why I couldn't drift and why I sucked around corners. Then I realized the customization actually matters. It's not just for looks. Did you learn
about the glory that is the buggy beetle?
I think I've used it. I'm not sure.
It's the ultimate fucking drift machine.
I can't remember what my go-to vehicle is. I haven't played it in a while.
Mike, there's like 80 characters. Each one is a different weight class, and their weight affects everything. And then you have the weight.
You're talking about Mario Kart 8, right?
Yeah, but it's crazy. I mean, I have played it.
And they've released more boards and shit for it.
They're still releasing.
I didn't know that. I haven't played it in years.
Like, they added Legend of Zelda levels.
Oh man, you should. There's more boards that they released for free.
Yeah, like tons of them. Like there's lots of stuff. There's a Legend of Zelda level based on seasons and ages for that.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Where like the season,
love seasons and ages.
The season of the level is changing constantly as you go through it, and all the coins are rupees instead. When you collect them, they make the rupee sound. So it's wonderful.
That's really cool.
Yeah,
it's definitely the hardest Mario Kart as well, like they ever made.
Oh yeah,
I trashed them all. I like wrecked them all. Gold, like metal, like every difficulty, and then this, it's like actually hard to do the top ones.
I just with that one, you actually got to know when to like do the little hop thing and like turn.
Yeah.
And like they thought of everything.
The one thing I don't like is the anti-gravity stuff when you like flip onto a side of a wall or something. It doesn't really matter. Like, they didn't do enough with that for it to be different.
Cool.
It looks cool, but you're kind of still just driving. Like they didn't like there could have been something there that you did, like almost that you could fall off a wall if you get hit with something, or
you do on there was some more. Of them.
See, they didn't do enough of that though, because I've never fallen off a wall. They
redid the Toad's Turnpike level, like the 64 level, right? But they jazzed it up. There are sections where if you hit this boost, it'll take you up onto the side of the wall while you could still be on the street. And there's a bunch of boost jumps along the way. But if you get hit, you fall off the wall. And if you fuck up, you fall off the wall and stuff like that. But
I was going to say,
if you stay on it, you get it like a night. It's like a crazy good shortcut. But I mean, that's not every level. Some of them, it's literally just a camera angle flip. And you're absolutely right. They could have done more.
I think the only thing I don't really care for in Mario Kart 8 is the whole like parachute thing.
Yeah, but they do that with most of the wacky racer kind of games now.
Right. So like it was just kind of like from playing 64 and then
that was also in 7, right? The parachutes and stuff.
I didn't play
the paragliders.
They just look cool. Yeah, that came out in the Wii 6 for the Wii.
6,
That's when they started.
I was pretty sure it was also in 7. So 6, all right. But even with all that being said, and how amazing the new one is, if the 4 of us were to sit in a living room and turn on a 64 and play Mario Kart 64, I think I'd have the most fun with video games I've had in 10 years.
I'll show you guys why Princess Peach is the queen of the fucking kingdom.
Well, she is. We all know that, but she's constantly getting kidnapped.
Not if she had a go-kart. No one.
That's true.
If she had a go-kart.
For some reason, you put them in a go-kart, they'll race with Bowser like he's not constantly kidnapping the princess. They all get along together just because they're in a cart, or because they're hitting golf balls or playing basketball together. It's kind of weird. Their relationship with Bowser. Half the time they're cool with him.
And that's
what if
contact,
guys? What if the Mario Bros. Games is actually just like them acting out a movie and all these other like recreational games is what they do in their spare time between shoots.
We're not talking about the Super Mario Brothers movie. We'll
Not
talk
yet.
about that another time.
He's talking about like the idea that like people,
Yeah, I know.
yeah, they're characters that put on an act.
Mike, no.
No.
And anyway,
you can't dismiss that because
I just did.
There are far more games where they're doing fun stuff together than there are where they're fighting.
Dismissed.
Okay, saying far more is inaccurate because there's a lot of like offshoot Mario games that are like for DS and Game Boy, and there's a ton of
Bowser
2D.
and Luigi's Superstar Saga,
Yeah.
Inside Story, Bowser's big whatever. Mario fucking that time that a ghost kidnapped Mario and turned him into a painting, and Luigi had to like fight an entire mansion to get
Bowser
him
had nothing to do with that.
That you know.
Bowser was in the background somewhere.
It's probably Wario.
Well,
let's be real.
isn't Bowser like the king of all the boos? No, I guess there's a King Boo, isn't there?
There's about
what is the relationship between King Boo and Bowser?
He's just
it's like
ghost with a crown.
No, it's like Game of Thrones, Westeros. There's two different kings, and they don't denounce, or they denounce each other, and they don't.
No,
they won't bow to each other.
You see, guys, you're taking it too far.
No, Boo was actually his brother who didn't think that Bowser deserved the crown. So
Bowser murdered him, and he became a ghost.
So Boo went to the north and became a king of the north, and now they fight each other. True story.
Why do they both fight Mario?
Well, they both hate Mario.
Mario's just a dick. Mario's just a cunt.
Yeah, enemy.
Mario's the Jon Snow of the world.
Mike, you screwed it
up. Jon Snow sleeps with kings and queens, not fights them.
Well,
he bends the knee and then bends that ass.
He bends their knees. But there's another one, like a different kind of, before we get too far into the 2000s with games, a different kind of Super Mario that most Mario super fans know about this game, but a lot of normal casual Mario fans probably never heard of Super Mario RPG.
The Legend of the Seven Stars.
There was an RPG turn-based Super Mario game.
And we're not talking about Paper Mario.
And we're not talking about Paper Mario. It was before Paper Mario 1. This was 96. Yeah, yes, well, yeah. It was in 96, and it's to this day, it holds up as a pretty fun RPG. I think, like, I guess the Paper Mario was their route with the RPG style, but I honestly wish they would have kept going with the kind of badass Mario, like building up your stats and armor. And
them working with Squaresoft was a one-time thing, and
and that kind of sucked.
Just be happy it happened at all.
Oh, I am, but I really wish it wouldn't have stopped there.
Fucking, Gino and Malo.
Gino, the greatest character ever introduced, just we never heard from again.
I can't
Malo
believe.
Sucks, though.
Maybe it's because it's a Nintendo property as well, but they work together with Square, right? So
with a contract of what that we don't know about.
Mike, stop thinking companies are buying each other.
No,
it was just a deal.
No, I know.
He thought maybe Square could have.
I was making fun of him for the Sega thing.
I was, because Kingdom Hearts had all these characters from all these different games. I thought what would have been cool if we could have got like a Gino or a Malo.
Yeah, you'd have to get Nintendo to do that, and that ain't happening, homie.
Oh, I know.
They'll sue you for asking. Actually, that's the kind. No, I'm not even kidding. They're that fucked up when it comes to that legal shit.
They'll be like, "How dare you ask?"
Oh, dude, they sue people all the time for like making fan games, then make them shut them down, and constantly.
Well, Square does the same thing, so
yeah, they suck too. You're right. You know who doesn't? Sega. They tell you want to make a fan game, do it, and they did. And they're like, "This is awesome," and then they turn it into Sonic Mania.
It's true.
Yeah,
and they don't care.
Did they pay the guy who made it?
Not only did they pay him, they brought him onto the team and let him do that entire opening animation. That opening, he helped make the opening animation and the music and everything. He was like credited with everything.
That's really badass, actually.
Yeah, no, they have their philosophy is if you want to make, like, if you love the IP, just do it. Fucking, they encourage it. It's the opposite.
The difference is Sega has sucked with their games for a long ass time, and Mario really hasn't. So Mario doesn't need the help necessarily, and Sega was probably willing to have it.
You're insulting my boy, Sega, okay? But if I'm being honest, Nintendo dwarfs Sega in every way that could ever matter, could ever hope to matter, and there's nothing they'll ever be able to do to fix that.
We were talking about Mario RPG. I've thoroughly enjoyed the game so far. I love that.
Is this the first time you played it?
Yeah, I watched my brother play it when I was a lot younger. So
holy crap.
Like, I never played it myself though, because we've had this discussion. Child Mike was really bad at games.
Oh, yeah, I guess that's true.
I wish Adrian was here to back up. Is this just what it's like to be the younger sibling? You never, like, I never let my sister play the consoles. She could only sit there and watch me play the consoles. At best, she got to be Luigi if I was feeling nice. But I was the older brother, so I was the one playing the console. She got to watch me play.
I'm pretty sure I probably played 85% of the time, and Adrian got the other 15 while I was asleep.
Like when you felt like letting him play. Kind of,
I did. I would say I watched my brother play more games than I got to when I was younger, which is probably why I didn't actually get pretty decent at video games until I was like in my teens.
I would say that once Adrian was closer to 12, 13, we probably split it half and half, where I'd watch him play half the time, he'd watch me play half the time. It definitely got a little more even when he got better at games. But for a while there, until he got good at it, I didn't really want to watch him suck over and over again. So.
It just kind of pisses you off to watch him be bad at things that you knew are not hard.
It's so weird to me because in most cases, the younger sibling is bad at games because they don't get to touch the game as often. But
is that the case?
But
I mean, that's the stereotype behind the younger
maybe
brother.
I guess maybe it is true though.
Most like that's just how it is. But like with my kids, my youngest is actually like one. He's obsessed with games. My oldest, he gets bored of them after about an hour or so playing.
We all know who Mike's favorite is.
No.
I know which one of those is my favorite now.
Right.
But yeah, it's crazy. You know, it's not that. It just kind of throws me off because my youngest is really good at games too. Like he comprehends them so well.
Now, is he really good, or are you just saying he's really good because it's your kid?
No, he is actually really good.
Okay.
There's certain things like that he doesn't like. If he doesn't understand something, and you try to direct him or show him, though, he has no interest in listening to you because he wants to figure it out himself.
I like this kid.
Yeah, that's not a bad quality.
But it gets he's like that with everything though. In certain things, it's kind of because he's like, well, my way's better, and then it's clearly not.
My kids also. There have been many times where they ask me to put a game on. I'll be like, I guess I'll put this game on for you. I'm not sure you'll be able to figure it out. And within 5 minutes, they're playing it like anybody. So it's kind of weird, the comprehension of kids to video games now because of YouTube and all the stuff they have available to them.
Yes and no. Like they wanted to play Escapist 2. I don't know if either of you know what that game is.
Kind of.
Mm-hmm.
They wanted to play that, but their comprehension of how to do that game is not there at all. Like we tried to show them what they needed to do, and all they wanted to do is run around and beat people up, and which is fine.
They knew exactly what they were doing.
Yeah. I didn't play the Grand Theft Auto games to fulfill the storyline.
I ran over the hookers I just paid.
Yeah, you got to get your money back.
Exactly. And in Vice City, you get these giant floating like stacks of cash.
Yeah.
And it was hilarious. And I was 13.
What I never understood is, like, you never got more than your money back. You should have. I felt like they should have had more money on them.
Well, they give it to their pimp every time. They're not holding any more money, so they only have what you gave them.
It's a video game. They don't think of that logic.
They did clearly.
It's a video game. They didn't even go to anyone else.
Gators bitches better be wearing Jimmys.
It's true. They're literally only there to please that only playable character.
Hello, user.
I am a human prostitute, ready to serve your human needs.
For 30 Earth dollars.
30 Earth dollars.
I mean, human money.
So I said my piece about Mario RPG, Doug.
I mean, I think it's great. It still holds up, and like if you're someone who plays lots of JRPG style games like Final Fantasies and stuff, like you're gonna think it's really easy probably, but if you grew up with it, or you're someone who's just getting into that genre or wants to get into that genre, it's a great way to pick it up. It teaches you all the basics, and it's also like difficult, like confusing right out the gate, like some of them are.
Especially if you love the Mario world, because
yeah, and it's fun.
It's fun to see all those characters in an RPG.
Exactly, and you get to see like aspects of like characters like Bowser and Peach and Mario, and like even to a lesser extent like Toad and like the Kingdom, like to in a way that you never would have or got to before then or really after. It's really fun. It's like a little magical game. I love that. I really love that game.
If you are unaware of this game or just now learning about it due to this podcast, I highly recommend you check it out.
What are you doing with your life?
Even at the crisp age of 32 and having played it for the first time, it still holds up for sure. So,
and by crisp he means his bones are basically glass. Because we're old as shit.
You're old as shit, maybe.
That's true.
Yeah, well, I'm older than you guys, and if I think you're as old as shit, I'm obviously old as shit.
That's why I was like, he's got you there.
Speaking of the different offshoots of Mario games, though, have either of you played either of the 2 new Mario Party games?
No.
I played a little of the. I didn't play like the one that's just a bunch of the old ones, like all like rolled into like this new redo.
Mario Party Superstars.
Yeah, but I did play the Super Mario Party game. Yeah,
I heard Mario Party Superstars was fucking phenomenal, though.
Well, yeah, it's if you like the old ones, it has a little bit of every game like from over the years, all wrapped into one. With some
it's got like all the best mini games from the first 10 games.
Yeah, it's just a magic. It's exactly what they needed to make for years now. But the other one...
They need new boards, though. I think they're doing updates, because Super Mario Party never had an update, like, not even once. When you boot that game up, it still says 1.0.0. Like, they never did anything to that game. They released it whole and never did shit to it. So, Super Mario Party from 2018, it's a fun game. It's easily digestible for kids, but it gets a little old. It's kind of cool that there's team play and there's free move on the board, and there's some cool stuff to it, but
honestly, that's like my opinion of Mario Party, like 5 through that one. Like they were all, they took like a lot of the old mini games. They were like a little challenging. They demanded a little Mario. Like we had to like literally drill the skin off the palm of our hands for the Mecha Marathon and rotate the joystick.
Yeah.
Is the bloodiest battle of my childhood.
There's a warning when you play a certain game in the new one, because you have to rotate the stick. That says don't use the palm of your hand because it will bleed.
Yeah, we would play that game and we'd be so competitive about it that we'd literally fucking like wear our fucking palms down until they started bleeding and shit. Like, that's
the nature of Mario Party. Just you made a lot of like enemies with friends.
Yeah,
it's not even that. It's like the games that you had to do that to win, and they got to the point where it was like there's 4 ropes, pick one. If you pick the right one, you win. If you didn't, you lose. It's that simple. It's not a game anymore. It's just like pick a number 1 through 4.
I hate the chance games. They're not fun.
I know exactly. I hate
because there's no skill.
And these new one, and then not the newest one, but the Super Mario Party. There's an aspect they threw into it where you can get allies that give you an extra dice every turn.
Fuck that! That pisses me off so much.
See, it's an okay mechanic.
No, I got fucked over by it so bad. Someone had like 5 of them.
I know. Well, you can have 4 max, but that still gives you a lot of extra roll. And
that doesn't seem fair at all.
But it's even worse.
You just get your own allies. But
no, it's even worse because there's a limit total that can be in the game, and if someone has more and you can only have like this many, you just literally can't get more. So you're just down the whole game from then on.
It depends.
Because they haven't made a new Mario Party yet. That other one was kind of just all the old ones mashed together. So yeah, they took the allies out of that, but they haven't made a new one to tell if they've taken that mechanic out.
I doubt they will.
Because a certain person in my house, my significant other, loves the Mario Party games. I have maxed out everything in both the new Mario Parties. Can't buy anything with my coins. Like I have over a huge abundance of coins. Can't do anything with them. I'm level 99. Can't go above that.
See, what he's saying is he got it and we didn't. So it's our fault that we didn't ever do that.
Oh, I've had it since it came out. I've played it a million
Yeah,
times.
I don't have it. Did you get it, Mike?
I don't remember now. I have this terrible feeling I bought it and then I never played it, which wouldn't be the first time I've done that.
I
mean,
see the games installed on my Switch that I haven't booted up once.
It's fun, but I will say for anybody out there who loved the old Mario Party games, everybody seems to love Peach's birthday cake level from I think 3.
That level sucks.
But it really sucks, and we don't even play it. Like I think we've played it like 3 times since we owned the game. It's a really boring level. You just go around in a circle over and over again.
You want to go all the way to the hardest level and pick the space one that has the fucking lasers that just take all your coins.
Takes all your coins.
Fuck
but
yeah.
The hardest level in the new game is actually the haunted level.
The Haunted Woods?
The Haunted Woods, yeah.
That was my favorite level in 2.
It's a great level. But,
it's brutal.
But all the levels other than Peach's Cake are fun. There's also the Woody Woods where the Monty Moles come up and slap the signs and make them go different directions, and you can get fucked. Like you think you're about to get to the star, and then he comes up and smacks it, and you have to go the other way.
If I feel like the game of Mario Party was fair, then I wasn't playing Mario Party. I wanted someone to have a horrible time. That's the only way you're having a good time in Mario Party.
The amount of times when I was a kid that the bonus stars fucked me was...
Oh my god, yeah. No, like, someone has to be really unhappy at the end of that game of Mario Party. That's the rule. It's like Monopoly. And if everyone's happy, I'm not, because that's bullshit. Someone has to have a bad time.
When you play Mario Party with a bunch of friends, typically one of you ends up hating each other for like a week.
I just lost one of the newer Mario parties to my son for the first time ever just a couple weeks ago. I usually beat everybody at that game. But
so you're proud of him.
I'm proud of him, but I grounded him for sure.
I was going to say, yeah, no, Corey's like, you're grounded.
Oh, yeah, I grounded him immediately.
6 months.
As a matter of fact, this Saturday we're all going bowling together, and my son's actually in a league, so he's probably going to beat me at that too. So I'm going to have to ground him again. Did either of you play the new Super Mario for Wii when it came out?
Which one?
I did.
The side
the very
to side.
First Wii?
Yeah. It's super cool. It was so unique. The one where you could like literally grab the level and flip it so it was 3D and then 2D. Yeah, it was super unique. It was Super Paper Mario.
Yeah, it kind of was.
Yeah.
No, that's the name of it. Super Paper Mario.
Oh, I wasn't talking about that one.
Oh,
No,
new Super Mario
Brothers.
About
the new Super Mario Brothers for the Wii.
Oh yeah, I mean that was just Mario.
But I mean, it was a nice.
It was classitic. It was 2D.
It was the 3D
nice,
models in a 2D game. It was kind of cool.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, I liked it. It was really nice. I liked how when you did the 2-player.
It felt slow. Oh god, the 2-player is the worst part.
4 players.
I was gonna say, have you ever did 4 players?
I would never.
It's ridiculous.
That was awful.
I'd kill you all and then make you stick in bubbles while I ran through the level. But yeah, me and my friend, that and Donkey Kong and the Donkey Kong Country Returns game where you play like co-op at the same time.
Yeah,
we almost got in a fist fight over that because we play games differently, and we just kept getting each other killed, and it was like we were getting to the point where it was like ready to break something. It was so fucking awful.
I love that they took the aspect of Yoshi's Island when fucking you got baby Mario crying, except they didn't cry, and put it in that game when you died and came back.
I liked how you could fuck your friend over, and if you kept running, they couldn't get out of the bubble.
Yeah, you could shake your controller and the bubble would kind of go closer to the character, but you could dodge it pretty easy.
Yeah.
And like me and Adrian, we were roommates at the time when that game came out. I remember getting a Wii for my kids for Christmas, and I bought them that game. And whenever they were over, we'd play with them as 4 players. And they just sucked, and they'd constantly fall down the cracks while we're trying to rush through the level. And they'd be in bubbles, and me and Adrian were always like jumping around them trying to finish the level before we get them out.
How shitty is it that they made it 4 players, but they couldn't think of anything original except for making the extra 2 players Toad?
Yeah, that was kind of stupid. You could tell
if they're your 3rd and 4th player friend, you don't give a fuck who they are.
That's true.
And Nintendo understands that.
But even Super Mario 2, you had the choice of 4 players.
But only one person chooses 4 people.
I know, but
and there's only one real choice if you know how to play that game.
Luigi.
No, he's actually not even close.
No, Peach.
Oh, you're talking about Toad because he runs fast.
Yeah, when he picks something up over his head, he runs faster.
But Well, that's what I said. Like they had those 4 characters. They could have just incorporated that. I don't know why they didn't. I, it's been so long. I don't remember like the storyline
Because
behind that
you
game.
got to save.
Was
You're saving
Peach?
Peach, so she can't be a character.
Well,
And they did make a game like this where Peach is in it. By the way, Luigi, Mario, Peach, and Toad are the 4 people.
3D Land.
Super Mario 3D Land.
Okay.
Which is another game that if you play it with somebody, where even if you're both really good at games, if you don't play them the same way, you're gonna want to fight each other.
Yeah, that was another rough one, and it sucks because these games like they lend themselves to being multiplayer fun, but then once you're doing it, man, you're just
because there's a level of that level of people that play video games where they're just having a good time, but I feel like me and you know that we're playing it to beat them.
Yeah.
And you're fucking around, and you're pissed.
Dude, when I'm playing a game like Mario or whatever, and I'm playing like co-op with somebody, like I'm not playing it to fuck off. Like I want to get through the level, get all the the extra cool shit, and beat the level.
No. I want to beat it fast.
Yeah.
Fuck all that extra.
I'll
shit.
go through a second time and get all the cool stuff. I'm
trying to go fast.
All right, Ricky Bobby.
Nah, if you're not first, you're last.
Yeah, first, you're last.
I was high when I said that.
When I'm playing with my kids, I try to slow it down and think about let's try to have fun with this. But my instinct eventually kicks in, and I'm trying to get through the level.
Hold down, run, hold right, don't stop for nothing.
And actually, in Super Mario World, I accidentally found out you can go behind the stuff by ducking on the white things. That was a complete accident. I didn't even mean to do it. I was reaching for a drink and my hand was holding down.
Okay, so this is great. My mom, her brother, my mom's friend, and my dad, they just all knew all these Mario's 1 and 3 secrets. And back then, you didn't have the internet. They just figured them out. My parents showed me how to do the infinite life jump trick on Mario 1. They just figured that shit out.
Yeah.
I don't know how.
It's weird.
And they're not very good at video games. I don't understand how they did it then.
It is weird to look back now and think, how the fuck did we figure all that shit out? But
yeah, my parents showed me all these secrets that I still remember, and people are always like, how do you know that? I was like, well, my mom showed me.
I had a slight benefit when I was a kid for quite a while there. I had Nintendo Power magazine, and they would put cheats in there occasionally when they found stuff like, if you do this in this game, you get lives. And so I knew some of that from Nintendo Power, but for the most part, I don't remember. I don't know how I figured certain things out.
Every secret block, every hidden coin, every star, is just every invisible life. They just knew where they were. I never knew how. I still don't know how. They just figured it out.
Probably all accidental.
But there's some things there's no way it was an accident.
It's so much stuff.
The one castle where you can get up above at the end, you crush that little bone guy and you fly up.
It's all in the first in level 1-3 is when you drop through the thing and get the first flute, and then the sand castle, that same world, you fly up there and get the second.
Yeah.
You go straight to world 8.
And how the hell would you ever accidentally be at the top of that screen right there? You wouldn't. You have to get to that last part and then fly up over.
And when you hold down on that white platform to fall through it, it's for a long time. It's not just for a second.
It's 5 seconds that you have to hold that.
How you
5 full seconds?
You say you did that by accident. That
because I was just grabbing a drink and my hand was holding down.
I was saying how somebody else had found it had to have been by accident.
But that's the thing.
Some of these things.
All these when I'm talking before we were when I was 2 years old, my parents were figuring the shit out. There's nobody that was telling them how to do it.
That's what I said.
They got drunk.
It's all by accident.
But it's all of it. It's just mind blowing.
Like when you're in the underground world in World 1, Level 2, and I'm sure somebody was just I wonder what happens if I jump up here, and then they're like, oh shit, I can actually jump up here.
Yeah, what was the one guy doing when he stood on the exact right spot on the fucking in the world 7-3 where there's a green shell guy and figured out that he could bounce on him infinitely for infinite lives? So is he just thinking, I bet this works? No. How did he figure that out?
Before the internet and before all these people that are speed running games and figuring things out, there 100% were people still doing that stuff. They just didn't get famous for it.
That's true.
Yeah. There was people sitting at home I'm going to figure every goddamn secret out in this game.
Well, that's the thing. At that time, well, you wouldn't know to look for secrets yet. That was like when they first came around.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's what I'm trying to say. Is like it was like back then there was no. Though these old games used to do it. These were the old games that used to do it.
people like your parents who weren't good at video games. I don't know how they were figuring things out.
It was probably my uncle.
But there were definitely groups of people out there that were like, "You are now done."
Oh, absolutely.
Where they're like, "There's got to be secret stuff in this game."
Oh, absolutely. I no doubt. But
they were probably the ones figuring all that shit out.
Because I know all these secrets because I was shown them from my parents, and it's just crazy to me. Like I don't know. It's just wild.
So while we're still talking about the older games, there is a classic fucking video on YouTube. I don't know if either of you've seen it, called Mario Frustration. And I don't know how anybody could watch it without laughing. It's so fucking funny.
I've never seen it.
And it's like the most difficult fucking level of Mario ever.
There's like this whole, you know how I got you into emulators recently?
Yeah.
Well, within the emulator world, there's this thing called ROM hacks where people customize them and change them and make their own like custom versions and maps and things.
Oh, you mean kind of like Mario Maker?
It's actually the thing that inspired Mario Maker, is that people have been out here doing this for a long time. There's something called Kaizo Mario, which is it's like hard mode, and like it's become really popular in like that whole scene. And these people, they like seek out the hardest levels ever. And that was kind of like from the early days of that, when they would just say, fucking throw anything on a level and be like, good luck. Now they're like more well thought out. They're like difficult, but on purpose. That was just like, fuck you, the level. And it's hilarious.
This video has 32 million views.
Oh, yeah. How old is it now?
15 years old.
Exactly.
I've never seen that video, but I've seen a lot of videos of people modding old Mario games and making them difficult.
Yeah, I mean, I've linked
seen a lot of
clips of that guy from YouTube playing those hard levels, doing like
Yeah.
those crazy.
Yeah, that guy's awesome.
Great, yeah, that shit's so entertaining. But yeah, Mario Frustration kind of started it all.
It's just the first. I think I stumbled upon it. Like I wasn't even looking for it, and I was in college, and I remember just being up late at night one night, and I was just YouTubing random shit, and I came across it, and I was dying I died laughing like multiple times. My roommate at one point was like, "Dude, I'm fucking trying to sleep," because it was like 3 a.m.
Did either of you play Mario Sunshine? Because I really didn't play much of it.
I love it. People always go, it has everything. You can do everything that you could do in Mario 64, plus you had a water jetpack. It was kind of awesome.
I love Mario Sunshine.
Yeah.
So that was one that kind of just passed me by. I never really played much of it.
Everybody gives it like this bad, it's kind of like Wind Waker, where people grew more fond of it over the years. Like it's more fondly remembered now than it was back then. Like everybody hated it when it came out for some reason. Not everybody, but a lot of people.
I never hated it.
It's all about photosynthesis, brah.
Don't shove a message down my throat. No, I'm going to try it. I do have that 3-pack that they made for Switch.
Yeah.
And I will eventually play it. I just haven't.
No, it's definitely a fun game. It's not by any means like a top 3 for me, but I mean, I did love playing it.
Well, that'd be really hard.
I personally find it more fun than 64. You can get Yoshi in it.
Well, I mean, you can, and it's one of the hardest Mario games, 3D wise.
Sunshine was?
Yeah.
I guess. Is it?
I mean, it's considered one of the hardest, yeah.
I don't know. I just never really played it.
It says here, and this is on a game, it's on GameRant.com. It says Sunshine is almost undeniably the hardest 3D Mario title, despite its seemingly cheery exterior and themes of cleanliness.
Themes of cleanliness? Just because you're spraying water all over the place?
You gotta clean up.
Spraying water all over the place, that's actually a metaphor.
I played a lot more of the Galaxy games than the Sunshine.
I never played Galaxy.
Also fun.
I played those two a lot when they first came out.
So there's a period of Mario games where I didn't play because like Sunshine came out when I first got, like it was around the same time that I got my GameCube. But once I got my Xbox 360, I kind of stopped playing everything else.
So you went into like deep Microsoft shooter mode.
I play Call of Duty and Gears of War, and that's my whole personality.
That's kind of what I was that guy for a little bit. Yes,
I definitely got sucked into the first 2 Black Ops games real heavy like that, where I didn't play a whole lot outside of it. It was pretty much the only thing I did. But it was only maybe 6 months of my life, and then I started branching back out.
For a long time, my core games were GTA 4 and any Call of Duty that came out. And Madden.
Those are like all the things I don't play. Except I would play Madden at Tyler's house, and they were always annoyed that I was able to compete with them, even though I didn't play it, nor did I didn't even pick my own plays. I would ask Madden for every defense play.
Yeah, they got really mad about that when you used the suggestions. I don't know why.
It doesn't matter. Just pick a play. I'll pick whatever play, and it's not going to make a difference.
Yeah.
This video game isn't real football.
It made them mad because they took all this time to think about their defense, and then you just picked a random play and smoked them.
It would be that, or I go into the nickel package and pick prevent. That was it. Those were the only plays I picked that play, or I picked something at Madden recommended.
I always picked I do love that later in like the later on games gave you 3 options to pick like something Madden was recommending, so they didn't know what play you're
picking. They can know. It's not going to stop. It's not going to help them. I'm still going to I'm going to sack them or take the ball.
So after I left the GameCube world for a while, I didn't get back into Nintendo games until the first Wii came out, and I barely played that.
That was the first console after the GameCube, Mike.
I know, but I barely played that.
Oh, okay.
And then I got a Wii U from work. So this place I used to work at, every Christmas they would do this gift giveaway thing where they would pull your name out of a raffle, and everybody got something. Like they bought enough gifts that everybody got something.
You got a Wii U?
If you were one of the first people picked, you got to pick any fucking thing. And yeah, I got a Wii U. So, I mean, I
and the 10 other people that owned it.
It was, I had a Wii U and it came with Mario Maker, and I was like, this is fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Like, I enjoyed Mario Maker. It was a really cool game.
It was fun.
I played Mario Maker 2, would have been on the Switch.
I heard Mario Maker 2 is even better.
Oh, yeah. They cranked it up and it's on the Switch, so it's really easy to, and you can constantly download levels. There's endless online mode where you pick a difficulty and it just strings you infinitely through levels of that difficulty, and you have lives and you go as far as you can. You like new record, you beat this many levels this time and stuff like that. It's great. It's like a super fun.
I heard about all the improvements the second one made, but I never played it. Because it never goes on sale. Did
either of you guys get the opportunity to play that Mario 35 game, like that Mario Battle Royale style game?
Yeah, it was kind of cool actually.
I loved it. It was only out for like a couple of months. No. It was original Mario, but 35 people were playing at the same time, and every time you killed an enemy, it got sent to someone's random game and just added.
You could end up with 3,000 turtle shells being thrown at you.
And it looped, and you looped through like levels through 1-1 to 8. It's like to World 8, just until only one person was left.
Yeah,
and it just kept looping.
Kind of cool.
Oh, it was amazing.
It was really cool.
See, because I was gonna say I don't really care for Battle Royale.
Exactly.
The Switch also did that with Tetris.
Yeah, Tetris 99. I loved those two games both because they took the Battle Royale idea and they made it actually fun.
I was gonna say though I got into Fortnite there for a little bit because it was just a fun game. It was a nice change of pace to like Call of Duty and whatnot.
Mike likes Battle Royale games.
I mean, I liked PUBG, so I can't say much.
Like, Fortnite gets a bad reputation. It's really not an awful game. And actually, I like it more without, like, they introduced, which got me to play it again for a little bit, they introduced a new mode where there's no building in it.
I know, the no-build mode.
Right? They took it from being remotely unique and made it as generic as every other Battle Royale, and suddenly people liked it even more.
Exactly.
But
so stupid.
I couldn't, well, I liked that it was third person. I can't stand Apex. I don't know why anybody likes that game.
Never even played that one.
They're all the same game.
PUBG was the original, so they tried to sue Fortnite so hard.
I liked PUBG for a little while. I don't play it anymore, but I had fun with it.
Them like winning that lawsuit would have been like if imagine if Sega just came out with Sonic, Nintendo sues them because they stole their game idea. Yeah, right.
Yeah, that's an impossible thing to sue over.
Yeah.
It's a whole.
Get out of
well,
here
actually, I think by the time they finally because Epic Games made so much fucking money off of Fortnite, they just said fuck it and settled out of court. I'm pretty sure.
It was probably the smart decision.
They canceled everything cool that they were working on because of that too. So they literally threw away all their like.
They sure did.
Yeah, because it was
identity.
Like the whole game wasn't even supposed to just be the battle royale. That was just
that wasn't even part of the game. That wasn't even actually originally part of the game because when they first announced the game, it was supposed to be this like co-op build like survival game that looked super cool and unique. And
that would have been awesome.
I was looking forward to. And then like, oh, PUBG's doing well. Let's take away all of the personality from this game and just be a fucking and cash in on that bullshit. I hate that shit. I honestly hold it against the genre because of like
see that kind of stuff doesn't really faze me. It is annoying that they did that, but I think it was smart of Epic Games to just settle out with PUBG because the only argument they probably had in that lawsuit was the circles getting smaller as time goes on, the area that you can fight in.
Yeah.
So there was a mechanic there that PUBG clearly created.
That doesn't matter though.
But it probably in the end it might not have mattered. But it was smart for Epic Games to just say, "Here's $1 million. Shut the fuck up."
Oh, I don't care about that. No, I meant like the game, the genre, the battle royale games in general. Like all these different companies were making these cool different things, but then realized that they could just make a shit ton of money making the exact same game someone else is already making.
I guess PUBG just dropped it.
Disappointing. Yeah, because it was stupid.
Yeah, they realized they just dropped the lawsuit.
Well, they saw the money Epic Games was making. They're like, there was no point in going to war against them.
There was no case.
That too.
I mean, as much as you want to hate Epic Games for changing what they did.
No, like their entire company, they threw away everything they were doing. There were all these other games that they were working on that I played. One was called Paragon. It was like a first-person MOBA game and stuff, and they just abandoned them all, got rid of them all, canceled them all, refunded everyone's money for them, said, fuck it, we're just working on Fortnite. Kind of like how you hate Rockstar for only working on GTA 5 and nothing.
Yeah,
it's the exact same thing. They threw away everything they were working on, abandoned it all, canceled every game, and they just went to Fortnite.
Yeah, it's just I haven't
lame.
As much as I loved playing GTA 5, like I haven't touched that game in probably almost 2 years now. It was.
Yeah, I haven't even loaded it up in a long ass time.
I have no interest because it's just the same shit. Like
I've never played it once.
It's a fun game.
I'm
like,
not a GTA.
When you're doing I like the online aspect that they implemented. It was basically like kind of like an RPG type style. Not what's the word I'm looking for? An MMO.
RPG, yeah, right? It was a world builder game by the end there.
Yeah. And that's
no thank you.
and it got to the point where they were literally begging people to sign on by giving you $1 million every month, and they're still doing that. I think
I got a copy of the game for free through Epic Games Store, but I hate Epic Games, so I don't use it, and I will never install that game even though I got it for free. Fuck Epic Games Store. Fuck. I don't care about GTA much. I just don't like them. I played GTA 4 long enough to get the achievement for getting off the boat. Never even made a bullet. I was like,
I know.
My car barely touched like something, and I went sailing out the front windshield. I'm like, fuck this. This is stupid.
Oh, that's super realistic.
I barely touched the thing in front of me, and I went fucking sailing. I was like, this is going to be the whole game. No, thank you.
I turn them on for dumb fun occasionally, but it's been a long ass time.
To hear more about that, go back to our GTA episode we released back in September.
Yeah. This is the Mario episode.
Oh, that's right, Mario.
You guys brought up all these stupid games.
A lot of the portion between the Mario games for like the Wii U and Switch and Mario Sunshine, they were kind of lost on me.
They were all kind of the same game. Like a bunch. Well, Galaxy was its own thing. Well, it was a 3D Mario, but then they made a line of games like New Super Mario Brothers, Wii, and then U, and then 3DS, but it was the same game, and it was like old 2D Mario, but with 3D sprites, and the game felt really slow, and like it's just you feel like you're floating all the time. I don't know. I'm not a fan exactly of how it feels to play. Like you think about think back to old Mario World. That game felt like crisp and like tight, and every time you press the button, you did exactly what you expected and wanted to do. In this game, you jump and you go.
Yeah, it almost gave you too
Yeah.
much time to adjust your jump.
It gave you the Luigi powers from Super Mario 2, but on crack.
It was like you were playing it on the face of the moon.
Yeah, and
with
at half
slightly weighted boots on.
Yeah, at like half speed.
I mean, I think they were trying to make it easier for kids, to be honest with you. I don't think they were. A lot of games now, any cartoony game is really way too easy now. To where when we were kids, all these Nintendo games and Sega games, there was actually quite a bit of skill involved in beating a lot of games back then.
Yeah, most of them were broken, like literally didn't work properly, so you had to be
But nowadays, with all the updates and shit, they're just making games easier and easier to beat. And it's almost why I don't play a lot of like side-scrolling games nowadays or easy 3D platformers, because they're just all so damn easy that they're almost mind-numbingly boring. That's why you gotta find the
good ones like Celeste.
Yes. Well, in the case of Celeste or Super Meat Boy or anything like that, you're also getting the element where you have to perfectly time jumps and slides, and it's really cool.
You have you played Celeste?
Yeah, isn't the Celeste where you're jumping around?
It's yeah, but it doesn't. It's not so demanding that you have to be perfect to just play the game. That's if you like go.
No, I know what you mean, but
yeah.
I'm not saying it's as hard as Super Meat Boy. I'm just saying they're similar in the level layouts and like how the enemies kind of move around and trying to jump between the gaps to land on a rock, and then you have to slide down a wall a little bit.
It takes
jump
a little
over
bit
to
of
the
skill.
next wall. Yeah,
the thing your complaining games don't have,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They're good now. That's what I'm saying. There are games that are good now.
I know,
but those aren't aimed towards kids. Most games nowadays are aimed towards kids.
See, that whole idea of aimed towards kids just makes no sense to me. Like it's like we were the target audience of these games that were difficult.
I don't understand.
Kids really aren't this stupid. Like you can give them something that's a little harder towards kids.
Kinda, but still not even. Kids. It's cartoony,
look at it.
Like a game for kids, but
Ninja's in it. The guy who only has an audience of 13-year-old kids.
Yeah,
he's in the game.
The things that are released for Fortnite 100% are aimed towards kids. That game itself is not like, there are a lot of parents that won't let their kids play Fortnite. It's not a game that's just aimed towards kids.
It's not for those kids. It's for the other kids.
I know that, but
cool parents.
My point is, you can't bank a game's whole livelihood on whether a parent's going to be cool with it or not. You have to aim it more towards kids nowadays. It's pathetic, but you do.
Plenty of adults will buy games.
Yeah, we all buy games. I don't know why they can't aim them more towards us, but
I mean, they do. Like you have your God of Wars and your Elden Rings.
I'm not talking about those kind of games. Clearly, there's adult games.
I know. That's what I mean. Like,
I mean, the platformers. Like, I wish they'd make another Mario side scroller that's hard. They're just not going to do it again. They're going to be easy.
Well, Nintendo
Mario Maker with the levels that people have put out there, they're finally kind of doing it again, but
they're letting other people.
They're letting other people do it.
Well,
they're doing the Sega thing.
They've always tucked the hard levels away in like these, like Odyssey, Galaxy. Yeah. They all have those secret super hard levels that you have to like figure out how to even get to. Like they're there. Like the main game is really easy, right? But for the people like you, like that's there. You just got to go get it.
Yeah, I mean, so I guess there is stuff hidden within games now, but it's not even really a complaint because I enjoy the games even though they're aimed towards kids.
I don't really care if it's aimed towards kids or not. It just like it doesn't have to be brain dead, and you don't need to explain.
Yeah,
you can let them figure out how to play it.
There's a game that I love playing for PlayStation that was actually aimed towards kids, but I still played it.
Apescape sucks.
No.
Monkey Ball?
No, Sly Cooper.
Oh, yeah.
And the Thievius Raccoonus.
Fucking love Sly Cooper.
And those games ended on a cliffhanger that still hasn't been answered to this day.
And it never will.
And it probably never will.
Don't worry, Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance 2 did the same thing.
I know. I played that one. That's a good game, too.
But, I mean, did any of you... I don't know if you guys played the... they made this really stupid app, Mario Run thing, that was $10 to buy for some reason.
I did not.
I was actually kind of addicted to it for a minute.
I played the free version where it ran for you. You just had to time the jumps and the wall.
Yeah, you just had to push the button. But you didn't even really have to push the screen to jump over the turtles and stuff, Goombas. It did that automatically. It was kind of fun to figure out this. Like that was another game where you have to jump on a wall, slide perfectly down to the next, because it wouldn't run backwards; it only ran forward. So you had to figure out how to get back if you went too far. It was kind of a fun game, but I got sick of it after a while.
I mean, yeah, like games like that, I'll play for like a little bit, but it's nothing I'm ever gonna like care about. It's like a way to kill time at a doctor's appointment or something.
But there's just like there's so many Mario games that we can't even talk about because there's 50 to 60 different Mario games, and I only really have 20 written down.
You only have 20 written down.
I only have 20 written down because they're the like ones I wanted to talk about.
That sentence is just so ridiculous to even say out loud, though. Like,
okay,
and when you say it, no, I agree with you. That's why it's so funny. It's like only 20 out of like only 275.
Let me preface this by saying that 10 of those are in one category with Mario Party, and 2 of them are in one category with Galaxy. So
I definitely don't like 10 Mario Parties.
No, but there are 10, so I want to at least write that down.
Okay,
and I want to say one thing that really pissed me off with the Mario Party games is the last 2 numbered titles, 9 and 10, did this really stupid fucking thing where you're all in a car together and you ride the level together. You're not separate. You're all together, and as with any. Basically,
it's not about competition. It's about having fun with your friends.
As with basically any Mario Party game, the mini games are still kind of fun. Like that's pretty universal over all of them. There's a lot of really fun mini games in each one of those games, but the fact that you were all in a car together and only one of you rolls the dice, and it was so fucking stupid. And I really hated 9 and 10.
It's not one of you; it's all of you doing it together, Corey.
Okay. I get if that's the message they were trying to convey. I didn't enjoy that.
It's not a competition. We're just all having a good time.
But it is a competition.
I know, trust me.
It's a board game, God damn it.
I hate it. Everybody's friends. No one can be winners and nobody can be losers.
Here's your trophy.
I'm going to throw this out there because I didn't ask either of you to do this, but I actually did rank my favorite Mario parties, the top 5 at least.
I don't,
because I played these so much.
I'll rank my top amount, but there's not 5 of them.
I haven't played enough of them to rank them.
I played these so much I was able to rank them without even really thinking about it. But I have 5 at 5. Then I have the newest ones, Mario Party Superstars at 4, Mario Party 3 at 3, the first one at 2, and the second one at 1. Mario Party 2 was still to this day, I think, my favorite Mario Party game.
I'll do mine, but I'm going to go from 1 down to 5. So it's 2, 1, 3, 4, 7. Those are my top 5. I haven't played the newest one. I've only played the
top 3
one time. Yeah, I mean, the 64 one's standalone.
Yeah.
4 was close, but you could already see it starting to step
They have
away.
all 3 of those on the Switch expansion thing.
I know.
Mario Party 2 is the only one I've ever played.
It's the best one.
Jesus. It is the best one.
It was fun.
Did you like
I really
it?
loved it.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, because, like, why'd you stop?
Did you play it with people or alone, Mike?
I played it with people when I was
I'm
in my 20s.
For the first time?
Yeah.
Oh my god! Did you have a childhood?
I didn't have friends to come over and play
I
64
guess.
with me.
God damn!
It was just me and my brother.
True. We tried to keep Mike from our house. We tried. He kept showing up. He kept fucking showing up.
He was trying to save you.
I don't know we talked about all the Mario games I wanted to talk about. But
did you guys not play like the Mario tennis or golf games or anything?
Oh, I love those games.
Oh no, I did.
I have them on my Switch. Like I love those games. Like the new Mario Golf is a total blast.
It is, yeah, the Rush or whatever it's called.
Yeah, when you unlock the Star Clubs is what they're called. You can change the direction of the ball midair 4 times, and so you're like flying, boom, boom, and it's like.
Curve that motherfucking ball like crazy in that game.
You can hit it forward and have it end up behind you. It's like ridiculous.
I mean, Mario Tennis for the Virtual Boy was awesome.
Oh my god! Can we not talk about the Virtual Boy again?
Mike, I feel like the Virtual Boy like cooked your brain as a kid a little bit.
What?
I mean, I think that was a setting on the Virtual Boy. Cook.
Yeah.
Broil the eyes.
Even though Breaking Bad wasn't a thing yet, there was literally an option where Jesse Pinkman shows up and says, "Cook."
We cook.
That's quite foreshadowing for the future if they put that in the game.
That'd be hilarious.
Nintendo is smart.
But yeah,
developed by Vince Gilligan.
I don't know. I feel like Mario can go in anything, but it's somehow always a little bit fun. Like it doesn't feel like a sellout, and I don't know why, but it doesn't feel like it's a sellout thing. He's in everything.
Like
They're
NBA
always
Street,
well-made.
like NBA Street for the GameCube.
Yeah,
where it was Mario, Luigi, and Peach doing super sweet basketball
They're like the
moves.
best characters.
It was
like
was
anything
really
they're
cool.
in is given extreme care and like watched carefully by Nintendo. They don't just like let anyone use their shit after the incident.
Yeah, I was gonna say ever since that really awful
the incident. Say the incident.
Oh, since the incident.
Yeah,
that we will talk about in another.
Yeah.
Episode.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
But what sucks is because of that incident, there's other things that I would have loved to see get a live action that we probably never will.
Don't worry. I don't think I wanted them in live action. I think we're getting what we always should have gotten here in a couple of months, and this is the way it should have been all along.
Well, that's for Mario, yes, but I
no. I mean in general.
I think a live action Zelda would be really cool.
I think they should do an Illumination.
I feel like they'd ruin
Illumination Zelda as well. The same animation style. They should go forward.
Or give it to like old school Disney animators and have them draw.
Yeah, either way,
fucking classic look.
But if this Mario movie that's coming out is successful in any way whatsoever,
it will be.
I think Nintendo will exclusively work with Illumination to try and make more properties. And it would be really cool if they built their own universe where they all kind of end up in a movie together.
You're gonna make Adrian cry.
Oh yeah, because now you're talking about a universe,
a Nintendo cinematic universe.
Yes,
like an NCU.
That would probably I could see that happening because it's so successful that Marvel did it so successfully.
There's already Smash Brothers, so that already exists.
Smash Brothers, all they have to do, like they could have Solid Snake, Bayonetta, Sonic, the 75 characters from fucking Fire Emblem,
Steve from Minecraft.
Nintendo is starting to dabble again in the movies. I think they're trying to test the waters, like they did Detective Pikachu, and that actually did really well.
Nintendo doesn't own Pokemon. Game Freak does.
Oh, there's no Nintendo emblem on Pokemon cards or anything, man.
That's true, but I just didn't know.
They've just they exclusively come out on Nintendo consoles.
Yeah.
When you boot up a Pokemon game, it says Game Freak.
Oh yeah.
Always
that
has.
Same symbol since the 90s.
Yeah, the company that owns and operates the franchise is actually named the Pokemon Company.
Yeah, they're their own entity.
It's a joint venture between Nintendo, Game Freak, a game developer which makes most of the Pokemon games, and Creatures, a game developer which makes some of the Pokemon.
They have a partnership now.
But the fact that Nintendo's venturing into this Mario movie, I feel like when it is successful, I will say when because I do think it's going to be great. I think they are going to start testing more properties.
I definitely, I will say that the trailer for the Mario movie doesn't have me worried. Whereas like Detective Pikachu did have me worried. Like I didn't think it was going to be good at all.
I ended up enjoying that, but
yeah. So I'm hoping that the reverse doesn't happen.
Yeah. I don't think it will. It looks pretty solid. It looks like it has enough nostalgia built in.
It looks like they care way too much for it.
Exactly. And just like this new Last of Us series on HBO, like this person took such care of every detail of the games to make this show, and Nintendo and Miyamoto himself has such a close eye on things that I just don't think that he would have released it if it was bad. I don't think he would have allowed it to happen.
Flew over to their studio and worked hand in hand in helping select the cast and give his approval on things before it was.
I think he made them give him a fully done copy before he even let them release a fucking trailer. I think he was so. I don't think it's going to be bad.
And Nintendo cares so much about like their characters that the stitching on the fucking overalls has to be right, or they will tell you no.
Well, so. For the movie cast, Charles Martinet is listed on the cast.
He's getting
list.
A cameo, yeah.
Yeah, he's gonna do a noise here and there.
Okay.
In the trailer, there is a one time when Mario goes wahoo. Wow. That's not Chris Pratt.
No, that was totally Chris Pratt.
No, not. Well, then it's not that noise. There is a noise in the trailer that's not him.
Maybe.
I can't remember which one it is, but.
I don't understand how people think that this movie is going to fail because the cast itself is pretty
because it's fun.
Good.
It's popular to hate on Chris Pratt for some reason right now.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not understanding that either. Like, what the hell did he do that people are so upset about?
He divorced Anna Faris, got with Arnold Schwarzenegger's daughter, and had a baby like right away. So people hate him for that. But who cares? That's just like
that's his personal life.
It's his personal life. Has nothing to do with his
personal
acting.
life as like he's an asshole. But maybe there's just something there that we don't know. Like
exactly. That's how I always look at it.
He's
like,
really
how do you
chill
know
with people like?
How do you know him and Anna Faris didn't get into it so hard that they were throwing shit across the kitchen?
Right.
Maybe they got out of a toxic relationship. You never know.
Do you know who knows?
Them two.
Chris Pratt.
Jesus.
And Anna Faris.
Yeah, them two and Jesus.
Oh, I confused them with Jesus, my bad.
But, I mean, I'm just like, Seth Rogen is Donkey Kong. I'm so fucking excited to even
Jack Black is Bowser.
See what that is. Jack Black as Bowser is, to me, a phenomenal...
Charlie Day is Luigi. Fucking who was it?
Keegan-Michael Key is Toad.
Keegan-Michael Key is Toad, yes. And then, Anya Taylor-Joy, who's like in every fucking thing right now.
Yeah, she is. She's hot.
Well, I mean, I was referring to just the fact that she's in everything.
Yes, she's hot, meaning in Hollywood, not her popular looks. She is very cute too, but I meant she's hot in Hollywood. Wow, Mike,
she's on fire.
There you go. Get your mind out of the gutter. Also, she's sexy as fuck.
No, you had to ignore. You had to not say that.
Wait, shit. All right. Well,
we avoided saying anything every time.
It's fine. I'll cut it out.
I was honestly shocked that Jack Black's doing it because I remember him talking. Well, because I remember him talking about going into retirement, like he was going to be done acting.
That's voice acting. You can do that You can do that in your PJs.
He'll never be done, dude. They just did a fucking Tenacious D concert last year.
Yeah, did you see the poster for it?
He just said he was retiring from acting, not like music or anything.
He's never gonna quit. It's just who he is.
I mean, he's still in one of my favorite guilty pleasure movies. I fucking love School of Rock.
I have never seen it.
Don't know why that's a guilty pleasure. That movie's great.
Yeah, apparently it's like beloved to the point where they had a fucking reunion.
Yeah,
concert. Like that's not a guilty pleasure. It's going to be sick. It's going to be a great movie.
No, I'm super excited for it. I think,
and there's already fucking Easter eggs just in the trailer. Like I can't wait for different Dutch things trailer. To happen. Well, yeah, but
why even they got a better trailer. Than
even in the American trailer, there's Diddy Kong and Dixie Kong sitting in the audience watching them fight. Like there's all kinds of stuff in the backgrounds that you can actually see.
The map with the one like hot area covered in snow.
Yeah. Oh, my penguins. They killed my boys. My boys. I love that first trailer, man. You will feel the wrath of our fury. It's just this little penguin throwing snowballs at him. Fucking love it.
And they're already gone. The movie's not even out yet, and we already know they got Anyway.
I really hope at some point during that scene, somebody's running around with a little baby penguin making that noise from the 64.
Oh my god.
Wah, wah, wah. You know what, and you know what you have to do. You got to find that kid and throw him off a cliff.
Throw it off the cliff.
Yes.
And then you go and tell his mom that's what you did.
And then it's like, where's my baby? Will you find my baby? No, you idiot.
I'll show you where he is.
Get off. I wish you could throw the big one off.
He's down there.
Go get him.
He's still in that dark abyss where I fucking left him.
Maybe if you weren't a horrible mother, I wouldn't have thrown your child off a cliff.
Yeah. Keep an eye on your fucking children. That was a fun mission in Mario 64, having to take that penguin all the way down that damn hill.
You mean having to throw that penguin down the cliff? Yeah.
No, when you actually try to complete it.
Yeah, when you actually finally
it's annoying.
The penguin to the mom.
Wait, you guys completed that mission?
I completed the whole game, bro. There is one part where you can throw the penguin down like 2 levels, and it will be there when you get down there. But for the most part, you have to carry it around all these stupid obstacles, and it's annoying. You drop it every 2 seconds, and if you fall down a large enough cliff, you drop him, and you're stuck in the snow, and you got to get out while he's waddling away. He's just an annoying ass little penguin. But it's so much fun.
All right, random question: What is your favorite weird Mario game? Like that is probably not really good, but you like it for some reason.
Weird Mario game.
Yeah. I'm going to be that guy. Mine's Mario Paint. Actually, Dr. Mario.
No, I love Mario Paint. So
see, I didn't like either of those.
I love Dr.
That's because you suck. No,
I had Dr. Mario on the Nintendo, Dr. Mario for the Game Boy, and Dr. Mario 64 for the 64.
Yeah. I loved Mario Paint so much just for the music alone. I actually downloaded a program on my computer where I could make music with Mario Paint.
Huh, cool. There actually is one that's a little weird. That's new.
Wow.
Little weird. That's newer. Have you played Bowser's Fury at all?
The 3D land one where you could like cat suit and stuff.
Yeah, you're like a cat suit and you can turn into a giant kaiju cat and fight Bowser.
I didn't know it got to that point.
Well, that's interesting.
Near the end, you turn giant and fight Bowser, like your giant kaiju in the water fighting each other.
I've never played that game because I thought it was going to be one of those games where I'd probably kill whoever I was playing with.
It's rough if you play it multiplayer, but that's kind of fun. I like that one. It's a little weird, but I don't know. I didn't. Okay, does it count if it's a Wario game?
Yeah.
I liked that Wario game. I don't remember what it's called, but it's that weird one where you could
do mini games.
Yes, when you could fuck with his face, like draw his face and whatever that was called. I really liked that game.
There's a couple of them.
There's a new one actually they just came out with.
It's a little different, but it's wild. It's so crazy.
Yeah, I liked that.
Now that you mention that, I mean, you've heard me talk about it before, and I hate to go back to the Virtual Boy, but do you know Wario Land for the Virtual Boy is one of my favorite fucking games.
It was the first game I owned.
Fever Dreams, I guess they count.
It was the first game I owned for the Virtual Boy.
If it made you legally blind, like, does it still count?
Yes.
It was still a gaming
I
system.
have to count it or else my eyesight was for nothing.
I sacrificed good eyesight.
I'm the only one without
another one I suppose is Yoshi Island. I kind of liked Yoshi Island.
Oh, that's a great game.
Yeah.
It just don't lose Mario.
Yeah, right. It's annoying, but it's not like it's not that bad.
If you hear that enough.
Like, I mean, if you don't want to hear it, get better at the game, I guess.
If you remember, I was terrible at games back then.
Well, then it was kind of your fault. Good answer. Did either of you ever play the sequel to that Yoshi Story?
No, I didn't play
for the
No,
64. I never played it either. Like I have no idea what that game is like. I was hoping one of you had.
Don't even really know anything about it, honestly.
It was to my knowledge, it's sort of like Yoshi's Island, but it was on the 64, and I don't know if it was 3D or not.
No clue. I don't even hear anybody ever talk about that one. So
yeah,
I have no idea.
That's a weird thing about it. That's why I was hoping somebody here knew. Adrian probably knows, the bastard.
It's probably his favorite game.
Yeah. Oh, dude, that game is legendary. That's a fucking goal.
That's a fucking goal. No, so yeah, I think those are the only weird ones. I didn't really like Dr. Mario. I tried to get into it, but I always hated Tetris.
Oh, so
I hated Dr. Robotnik's Bean Machine for Sega. Like I hated.
Yeah, I fucking love that game.
Marshall Erickson loves Dr. Mario.
He does.
He also has Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine and a game called Kirby's Avalanche, where the actual exact same game, except one had Kirby characters and one had Sonic characters, and one was on the Sega and was on the Nintendo.
That's
fucking
funny.
The game's insane.
The only Kirby game I ever played was for the Virtual Boy as well, and I didn't like that.
Oh my god, you never played any of the
It was
Kirby
on the
games?
Virtual Boy. Of course you didn't like it.
I liked Wario Land and Mario Tennis.
You. It was threatening the whole time we played it.
Kirby requires more graphics than Virtual Boy could give you.
It was actually one of the better looking NES games. Like the original Kirby, it looked like a Super Nintendo game on the Nintendo. Like
Kirby's my favorite character to use in Smash Brothers.
Kirby was extremely innovative in the way that you could like change your power just by eating a person.
Mm-hmm.
You could have different power ups.
Kirby?
Who?
The same exact guy who made Smash Brothers, Masahiro Sakurai.
Well, then I think Mike would probably like the Kirby games.
No wonder why Kirby fucking is kind of OP.
He's okay.
That in Ultimate, like that down B is pretty good if you hit it just right.
Yeah, if.
Just saying. Like, I don't know how many people I have eliminated with that.
I'm just going to assume with the vast number of games we've talked about in this episode that we're all equally excited for the Super Mario movie to come out, yeah?
Oh, yeah.
No, I'm the most excited. You're wrong.
See, I don't know how you could possibly gauge that, but
no, I just know.
In Doug's world, he's the most excited, but
always am, always will be. That's there is what I do.
Yeah, so Mario, we talked about it.
Yeah.
Do you guys happen to have like a top 3 off the top of your heads?
Of all Mario games?
All Mario games.
God.
Super Mario World number 1, Super Mario RPG number 2, and probably Odyssey number 3. If I ever had to do a top 3, that's off the top of my head. That's what I go with.
Yeah.
And well, okay, are we counting like Mario Party and everything in the mix?
I mean, I suppose
That's impossible.
I just meant like
change.
main.
It wouldn't change.
I just meant
it wouldn't
mainline.
change. Yeah, mainline. Even if I had all the others, it'd be the same 3. Those games are legitimately amazing.
Super Mario World is definitely my number 1. First Mario game I truly played. It's just overall phenomenal, and it's still, when you go back to play it today, it not only holds up, but I think it's still better than a lot of Mario games that have come out after it.
It's still the best.
So
it's my favorite animation, like animation style, and it's a great game.
I love all the music and everything. It's just everything is so well strung together.
It looks the best. It sounds great. Like it took everything that the original games laid out and cranked it the fuck up to 45.
Like, we're literally talking about it right now, and all I can hear in my head is the music for the very first island. Like the overworld music.
And really, to think, like, from Mario Brothers 3 to this one, it was only a 2-year difference, and it's way more than 2 years worth of look and sound and feel. 3 is great, but it's a huge leap between
3
what you could do.
3 was great, and then this came out, and I was like, oh, this is all 3 is?
Yeah.
And it feels bad because it was so amazing. Like, when I was a kid, like, before I played, like, the older ones, it's like, how could it get any better than this? And then World came out. I was like, oh.
You got the right Yoshi, it was just, everything was
Yoshi
just so well thought out.
That game. That was the first time he showed up.
And then you could kill him so you could get across the gap.
Hell yeah. And I'll never stop.
There's another Yoshi coming right up.
What is my purpose? To fall in holes so I can make it.
These Yoshis are interchangeable. Don't love any of them.
Today I'll drop a blue one, tomorrow a red one. They'll all die in that ditch.
Somewhere in a ditch, there's just a pile of dead Yoshi bodies.
It's true. So mine is, and nostalgia is going to play a heavy role in my list because it's Super Mario World 1, Mario Brothers 3 at 2, and Mario 64 is my third favorite. So, I mean, the top of our lists are very, very similar. I think a nostalgia plays a heavy role in that because I don't think a lot of newer gamers would have these 3 anywhere near the top of their lists.
A lot of newer gamers aren't ever going to fucking play that. They should, but a lot of them probably won't.
Yeah, they got games to play.
Yeah, they got their own shit. So
there's so many games now, like, I can't really blame them. But, like, the ones that get really into it, like I do or like Corey does, they'll go back and play them someday.
Especially people that really love Super Mario Maker, because a lot of that's based on those games.
It's true.
So you're going to want to see what they came from. So a lot of people will go back and check those out.
I love me some Super Mario Maker. I need to get the second one.
It's just better, like, legitimately. And
I've heard a lot
still
of
works
good things.
Online. It's the online functionality that really drives it home.
Yeah.
There's just always levels to play. People can make eight can make full worlds, full games worth of levels for you to play.
Well, I love that they implemented this like little system where certain things, if you hit it, you turned into a different character, like not even just a Mario character, which is really cool.
Oh yeah, you can become Link and stuff.
They have a little thing where you can get where you're in a little cart, a Mario Kart.
Oh yeah, the fucking cart levels, man. It's really awkward. You can be 3D Mario, but in 2D, where you can still do the long jumps and stuff, but just sideways. Yeah, you can be like old school Mario. You can be like Mario World. You can switch between them. You can make it like new Mario for the Wii. You have so much control, and it's so different.
Mario obviously played a huge role in all of our lives growing up, and it's still going strong. It's been a long ass time they've been doing these games.
I never knew I could love someone as much as I love this Japanese Italian plumber.
I know. He holds a special place in all of our hearts, and Luigi's also there.
Aptly put.
So
he's also there.
He's also there.
Unlike Adrian.
Well, we don't really have a whole lot to plug at the end of this episode because Adrian's not here, but I will say, if you want to watch the next video he makes in June, It'll be
of 2027.
Of 2027. It'll be on YouTube at youtube.com/Baker Reviews.
What's that again?
youtube.com/Baker Reviews.
Baker Reviews.
Thanks again, as always, Mike.
It wasn't me. That's the soundboard.
Exactly.
That was too.
So was my thing.
Uh-huh. There's no one here. This is all a soundboard.
And if you want to go online and tell us your favorite Mario games, or let us know if you've tried any of the old ones, if you're a younger listener, I'd really like to know if any of you are actually out there playing the old ones and getting into the ancients, as we'll call them, because we are all old and we played games.
I was there.
I was there
7 years ago.
It's been 84 years. You can get on Facebook at Culture Shock Podcast. On Instagram, it's Culture Shock 21. And on Twitter, where I do most of my work, it's CS Podcast 21. Come on over there and let me know what you think and what you've played. Well, that's going to do it from all of us here at Culture Shock. Thanks for listening.
Mario, the princess is missing!